The only way for this whole Lance situation to avoid being an utter failure is for him to play. Anything else is different degrees of failure.
I agree with that. Yeah, can I say this, Grant? I think what would be closure is a beautiful death. If he went out there and played 10 games, 12 games, and we just saw that it wasn't it, I feel like that'd be sobering. I feel like there needs to be a little bit of real time on task attached to the myth of Trey Lance. We actually have to see it. And I feel like enough times people will say, all right, well, it just wasn't what we thought it would be. Because that's the game at the end
Right,
of the
for
day.
sure. I just think it's interesting that, like, he went third, Zach Wilson went second. Zach Wilson is on a team that has playoff aspirations. It's not messing. They don't. I mean, the head coach is on the hot seat. He's got to win, and they're not trading him. Now they're looking to replace him. They want a different starter, but he's not. He's had 22 starts, and they're still like, you know what? It's not looking good. But at the same time, we can't give up on this because we spent the second pick in the draft on this. And the Niners over here, after 4 starts, being like, screw this guy. We've seen enough. Like,
hey, but there's only one thing that doesn't map with that situation. Robert Saleh does not have the type of leverage that Kyle Shanahan has. So he can't, while he's talking about Zach Wilson, he can't necessarily go as hard as Kyle does because he's a new coach with on a hot seat, as you said, who he just doesn't have the social currency. So a lot of how players are treated, and let's specifically Trey, is because of the fact that I don't really think that there is any checks and balances on Kyle, where he kind of feels like, I got to own this kid. I can't just say what I want about him. You know,
I look at it more from Lynch's perspective. Look at it from the general manager's perspective. John Lynch versus Joe Douglas over in the Jets. Joe Douglas is a career front office guy. Okay. John Lynch is an announcer who became a GM. So John Lynch can do unconventional stuff and say, I'm a Hall of Famer. I'm going with my gut. I'm going to trade a top 3 pick after 4 starts because I like Brock and I think I'm right. If he's wrong, I mean, it's a fireable offense. You never get that stink is attached to you forever. But he could always say, all right, okay, no one wants me anymore in the front. I'll go call games. Fine. Just like Matt Millen did. Joe Douglas can't do that. So Joe Douglas can't just give up on Zach Wilson after 22 starts. He's essentially giving up on him, but at the same time, he has to see that through. Where John doesn't. I mean, Adam Peters does. You know what I'm saying? But John doesn't. And I think that's kind of interesting right here. It might be why the Niners are so gung-ho about moving on. And are they all gung-ho?
Yeah. Hold up, Ig. In some instances, does Kyle not have a backdoor too? Every time we talk about his job security or whether he can get ousted out of a place, what's the first thing? Oh, but
there's 10 teams that would want him. Exactly. So he can act irrationally too or unconventionally. Do whatever the hell I want.
So do we really have 2 guys that are trying their best to get an ego project to resolution, or are they absolutely married to this because, you know, they burned the ships once they got to shore? Like, are they really married to this? Like what we would say a traditional coaching staff and front office would be.
Yeah. Randy says, if we were in Trey Lance's shoes, wouldn't we request a trade? I think we just said that, like, if we were his agent, we would want him out. We would want him out. And it'd probably be our job to have a very professional, polite conversation with John Lynch about that. Like, hey, man, we're not demanding anything, but if you're shutting the door on him competing, come on.
For lack of a better term, you're fucking with my pedigree. Like, you're not.
Yeah, man. Like, you already torpedoed his first 2 seasons of his career. Like, enough is enough. Enough is enough. Tyler says, Coach, do you think the Niners just like the attention with the quarterback position? Oh, that's such a good question.
I don't think that they like the attention, but I do think that they think that they're bigger than the position. I think that the Niners as a collective, as a team, I think that they look at the quarterback as another vestige of a team, right? But they don't look at it like, and it's kind of ironic, right? Because this is a team that's had Joe Montana, Steve Young, Jeff Garcia.
But this is a different ownership group. This is a different ownership group.
Yeah.
And they're much more of like a Chicago Bearsy type of like, hey, it's not about the quarterback. Like, yes, it fucking is. And that's what the 49ers proved to the whole world. And you guys should get on. Like, come on, Yorks. What the hell are you talking about?
And also, it's also emblematic of, and I don't want to get like, I don't want to put my tinfoil hat on, but it is also emblematic of the economic turn down in the San Francisco area. The 49ers are a beacon. They actually produce a lot of money. And when you are winning as many games as we win, good enough it may not be good in winning a Super Bowl, but good enough is great in the economy. Right, for making money and getting jobs. So, go ahead.
Also, you said something else, like the Niners don't look at the quarterback as being that important, but they know everyone else does. And I think they all get a kick out of everyone clutching their pearls about the quarterback position constantly when their entire attitude there is, doesn't matter. I mean, Kyle's I got 3 guys. It's a good room. Doesn't matter who it is.
Said this.
Yeah.
The quarterback of the San Francisco 49ers is Kyle Shanahan.
Exactly. And I think that's the whole thing. Like, they're not tripping about it. They have confidence in their team. They feel like it's a plug and play position. And they're amused by everyone being like, who's the quarterback? Like, it doesn't matter in their eyes, but it does.
They kind of move like they like the joke is on us. Like they know something we don't know. Right.
Like we're all a bunch of idiots focused on the low-hanging fruit while they're building this such a great team that we can't comprehend. That they're light years ahead of everyone else because they devalue the quarterback position. That is the future of the NFL. Maybe not.
I just think that they keep getting bit at the position and they don't want to take the time to really sew it up holistically.
They want quick fixes.
They want quick fixes, yeah.
Quick fixes. Yep.
And it ain't gonna happen that way. And what's really bad about it is that we have the offensive brain power and the talent to fool ourselves into thinking that we can actually get it done.